Welcome back from the desk low. Man, this has been long overdue. For the one gentleman in the back right there, we were supposed to do this a couple of years ago, but hey,
yeah, that's my fault, bro.
Hey, they say time is everything.
I'm real bad with technology outside of anything I use.
It's okay. We came a long way from just calling Bane off the phone in a bus shelter. That's where we did the first interview, was in a bus shelter, but you guys don't know that. I just said that now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But, man, yo, with these two gentlemen right here, man, they created two, not only one, but two great bodies of work that, if you haven't heard The Adventures of Bane Belushi, you're straight up tripping right now. Man, we have Detroit's finest right here. Pause for all my New York cats out there. Man, I have Foulmouth and Bane Belushi, formerly known as Shimmy Bango.
Yeah! What up, everyone?
Man, how you guys doing?
What up, Lo?
What up, though?
Man, I'm amazing.
I see they got the pop off there. Foul got the J. I don't know if that's a cigarette or not, but I hope that's a blunt.
Oh, I got the Black and Mild.
Okay.
Yeah. We got that too.
So okay, we got the waves. All right. So yeah, you guys, just so you guys know, you guys couldn't use profanity, whatever. I'm not gonna cut you off, but like, hey. So yeah.
So I can say shit, fuck, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like this already.
So man, one thing I like about like being fans of artists is like going back and like listening to interviews, and like one thing that I can't find on you guys is like interviews from you guys from like when you guys first started out. Like Foul, you wanted to be you were a freestylist, but you always wanted to be a producer.
And, yeah, I got a Boss Zoom rhythm track when I was in high school, and it was just 808 sounds. And I already knew I wanted to sample vinyl and shit like that, but I just didn't have really any clue how to make that happen. I just wasn't ready for it. And I got one of those when I was 17, and it basically taught me the format of kick snare. You know, the kick hits first. You got to figure that out at some point. And that's all I got out of it, though. I didn't, like, make anything good out of it. I just toyed with the shit. And I don't know what happened. I didn't really mean to be an MC. Like, I always thought I was going to make beats. Like, I've always, since I was a kid, I thought I was going to grow up and make beats. And then I got so focused on the MC until I was about 22, 23. I got sick of people, like, kind of deciding if I could have a beat or not. You know what I mean? Like, being in that, like, situation when you're young and you're surrounded by a bunch of people trying to get from the same couple producers, it was tough. So I kind of decided to take on producing. I didn't really think it was going to... I honestly didn't think it was going to come of it. Nobody really had any faith in me. I was a battle rapper who couldn't use a computer that was making beats on Acid Pro. I didn't have any type of backing of, yo, you should do this. You're going to be dope. It was weird to people that, yo, you can't use a computer and you're a freestyler. Why are you trying to make beats?
Now look at today.
That drove me, you know what I mean? Because nobody believed in me. So for me, that was probably the best thing that could have happened. Because if I would have had some yes men say, yo, that's dope, and it wasn't yet, you start getting that false sense of understanding yourself, you know? Luckily, I didn't have any of that.
So was this like around like 2000, like around fresh out of high school? Because like...
I graduated high school in 2002, so I started rapping I think my junior year I started freestyling. I wasn't recording yet, but I was already starting to put it together a little bit. I didn't start making beats until the end of 2004.
Oh, okay. So Bane was already rolling.
Yeah, I was somewhere in Europe doing things I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? It's all love, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bane got a career already. I wasn't doing shit.
Okay, so like Bane, like one of the things like I always like to go back on is like looking back at like old Fat Killahz interviews. Like I found this Fat Father Biggie casting video when I was looking for like old Fat Killahz interview. I was like, damn, yo, like I really wish that media was more popping as it was back then. But I can see you guys back then. We ain't doing no fucking interviews. So
it wasn't a thing like that when the Killahz pop. I was still hyping for O. So it was sometimes where I would leave a city and have to catch up with the Killahz. They would be on the road too. So I was doing a lot of bouncing around. So a lot of things you may see 3 Killahz or you may see 2 Killahz. Because at that time, Gordy had his own situation. I had my situation. So it's a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't see me in or you might see me in. But it was just a very busy and very lucrative time for a lot of us at that time. And I was one of the fortunate. It was lucrative. So that's why I was in and out. But People understand, and they know what it is, man. FK for life.
Man, so like, cause when we first talked, I was just like jumping right into it. It's like, yo, Shimmy Bang, I was so excited, but like, you know, I never really got to get the background of like, you know, your upcomings, and you say it in your music a lot though, but it's different when an artist actually explains it throughout an interview. So like, for coming up for you, what was like coming up for you like?
Coming up for me was great. I'm a product of Haitian immigrants that came to America. When my parents got here, my father went to Michigan, my mother went to New York, and
oh wow,
yeah, they met, and it's a love story. He went to travel to New York to visit his family that was there. Met my mom. They got together. He told her when he first met her, like, yo, I'm gonna marry you. She laughed it off, and then next thing you know, a year later, they married, moved to Michigan, have me. You know what I'm saying? And when they had me, they wasn't ready for me. So from the story I understand, my mother flew back to New York to my grandmother. God rest my grandmother, took me in for a couple, you know what I'm saying, couple years until a toddler. I lived in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, damn.
And from 5 to 14, I would go from Michigan to New York, back and forth. And I would get this hip-hop. And I would bring it back to Michigan. Like, yo, this. Everybody in Michigan from my area was all West Coast this, West Coast that. I was bringing this New York. I would bring mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
all this stuff. And kind of like, yeah, and I would be the oddball. But I'm sucking all this in. Respectfully and pause whatever you want to say.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to that pause shit too.
So, yeah, and I had a cousin in Queens, New York, by the name of Rio. God bless the dead. He was a rapper. I wanted to be a DJ, and that's when I really was like, I want to be a part of this, but I want to be a DJ. And he kind of, you know, he played Slick Rick first album, The Adventures of Slick Rick. While my album is called The Adventures of Bang Belushi because of that, and that changed me. And he passed. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm going to rap. And I started rapping. I went to Oak Park High School, the same high school that produced Bizarre, produced Royce. Royce humbled me one summer at the park, rhyming. And ever since then, I just turned it on. You feel me? I turned it on. The first crew I was a part of was Galactic Dimensions. Bizarre brung me in. He heard about what I was doing in the neighborhood and heard about the stuff with Royce. Like, Royce got me, whatever, but I held my own. And he pulled me in, and I took off from there. Then I got in trouble, was locked up. And when I came home, one of the homies plugged me with a dude that played in the NFL, Michael Westbrook, who started a record label. And Hex Murder was the A&R. And Hex had just came home, too, from doing his hookup. And it was over with after that. And the same time I met Obie. Obie came out of his county situation, too. And everybody was telling him about me about him, and we finally linked. We went bar for bar, and we was cool. Became best friends from there, and then that's how the whole situation with me being this hype man took off. But long story long, that's the beginning.
Damn.
And what you see now, bang.
Damn. So not really, like, cause like you have a New York vibe when it comes to your like your rhyming. So like hearing that you go from back and forth to Michigan to New York, it's like you got the best from both worlds. Do you think like that incorporated in you? Because like you have like songs like I'm feeling like ODB, I think I'm ODB, and I'm feeling like Biggie, and those are New York artists.
Yeah, because that's who I felt like my whole teenage years. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember being in high school, and that's when like Boot Camp Click really took off. In my mind, I was in the Boot Camp Click. You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame you.
Mommy, can you buy me armor fatigue? I know an army spot. Buy me this, mommy. I need, you know what I'm saying? I was like that. Like, in my mind, I was this. In my mind, I felt like I was Biggie in my situation. Like, what he was saying. Like, even on the new album, I say, Ready to Die, you know what I'm saying? Everyday struggle, my Bible. Everything he said, like, on there, I was living what he was saying. To a certain degree, a small degree. Like, mom put me out the crib. I'm doing this and that petty situations that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, I was feeling like that. So when you hear my music, it's a reflection of my life and the people that taught me how to do this hip-hop shit. It's an ode to them. Just like when you hear Jay-Z say Biggie rhymes, I do joints. You know what I'm saying? ODB, big, like them them two, and you may hear in the future. May hear Pun One. You know, there's people like that really influenced me in hip hop.
See, and I like how that you collaborate frequently with Foul Mouth too, because like when you hear Foul's production over Bane Belushi's like rhymes, it's so cinematic and picture perfect that you don't get from anywhere else. Like I think like taking it back to how you two first met, like I understand like you guys were working together, but like I want to understand like how, cause I watched some old Foul interviews and he was always giving Bane you your flowers, like yo, that's my man Bane right there. So how initially did you two actually meet and hook up?
2013. Actually, me and my man Jake New from JFK played a set for a release party, and Bane was the host.
Okay.
And I was already familiar with him, but we played a set, and the second I got off stage, he pulled me aside because I was wearing a Jason Hansen jersey. I don't know if you're familiar with Jason Hansen, but he's the kicker for the Lions, the great kicker we had.
Oh, okay. Now, okay.
Yeah, it is like all these other players you could have got a jersey for. You got the kicker.
Oh, that's right.
you are obviously a Detroit fan, or you a football guy. You got the kicker, not the quarterback, not the running back, not the wide receiver, not the linebacker. You got the kicker. That says something. So I was like, I got to say something.
But I immediately spit game to him about trying to get him in the studio. I wasn't really recording and mixing yet.
Okay.
But I was starting to take the next step forward, making beats. And we sat down, and we really didn't get nowhere. Actually, I wasn't ready to produce the way I was going to produce.
And this is where I jump in. I'm going to tell you the real. And he's going to be, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I'm going to tell you the real. When we first linked, it was him and the homie Pigpen. Pigpen was kicking his ass on beats. And I was like, damn, Pigpen nice. My man, he almost there, but he ain't there just yet. The first encounter, right? The second time I came through, blew me away. Blew me away to the point we had to record 2 records that day.
Yeah, that day.
The second record made The Adventures, and that was blowed every day. And ever since then, it's been me and this dude. I always say we the dynamic duo. Like, they're right here. Like, forget about it. The chemistry, we disagree. We bump heads. I don't want people to think like, yo, he's just like,
yeah, like always agreeing with each other.
We just disagree.
No, I'm talking about it. If 48 Hours was some hip hop drug shit, it'd be me and him. Like, for real, we like the hip hop 48 Hours, like Nick Nolte, Murphy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little chubbier and more handsomer than Murphy. But he can Nick Nolte all day the fuck long, man.
Okay.
We do a lot of tracks, man. So it's like, it sounds kind of crazy, but I think both albums we did about 35 or 40 tracks for. And we ended up taking certain ones, putting them towards this, putting them towards that. We get pretty picky during the process. We usually we look up and it's like 3 to 6 months later, whatever the lineup was that we had for a project, it's halfway completely different 6 months later.
Yeah, because I can see, like, so, like, I remember you said in an interview where, like, you first played him some beats, Bane didn't like it, and then, like, a couple months later, he came back, he's like, yo, what is this? Like, those are the beats you didn't like.
I actually replayed some of those beats I played for him that day, and he was like, what's this? And I was like, I told you they weren't whack. Because he had in his head that they were whack. And I was like, I just didn't play the right shit for him. I'm sure if I would have thought about it differently. So I look back at the beats I picked, they weren't it.
It's all about
I just wasn't ready for that yet. I don't think I was. I did a couple projects before me and him got a chance to sit down, and during doing those couple projects, I like a light bulb turned on how to correctly produce each person I'm working with. If that makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
So it was a lot different the second time he came around because when I talked to him like the day before, he was like, yo, can you do an early session? And I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't working or nothing. I was like, yeah, we can go whenever you want. So when he came through, it was like 7 in the morning. And the night before, I made a couple joints for him. And those were the joints he ended up rocking. You know what I mean? Because it's different when you're in the mind state of, all right, like I sat up, I listened to his music for a little bit and said, all right, I'm going to make a couple joints for him. So it was a little bit different the second time around, and my mind state was he's right. There was a big difference. There was a big jump from 2013 to 2016, production wise. But me as a lot of it was more of my understanding on how I'm going to produce each person. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does, because I can see, because even the work that you did with Gordy, I understand Bane introduced you to Gordy. So, but one of my questions is how did you find were you a fan of the Fat Killahz of Who's Coming to Dinner, or did you find them separately, how I found Marv 1 separately?
I was a huge fan of the Killahz. That's why when he pulled me aside, I immediately tried to get him to come through and grab beats.
Oh, so you knew? I was oh wow, this is shimmy.
I think the Killahz and D12 are the best shit that came out of Detroit as groups. So yeah. I was looking forward to it. He knew I wanted to work with Gordy, and Gordy actually was the one who had the idea for us to do our project and shit, which we'll get into.
Man, so I can only imagine Gordy, because Gordy was always the horrorcore of the group with Fat Killahz. So I can only imagine some of the crazy things that you guys got to experience being with Gordy, especially on tour.
Man, on tour, man. It's something that happened especially with D12, man. We used to just get into me and Gordy was just the sidekicks for problems, because I could say 2 words. Well, you could say 3 words to Gordy that would make Gordy go insane. If he had any thought of not doing what he wasn't supposed to do, I would say these 3 words: Van Dyke and Harper.
Oh shit!
And boom, he goes crazy. So it's a portion of the D12 show where Proof would call everybody that performed on stage, right? And we're in New Orleans, House of Blues. Oh, me and Gordy creep off, probably chasing women, smoking weed, doing what we do. And we overhear Proof say the key words to make us come to the stage. 2 fat dudes, high as giraffe ass, in New Orleans. Here's this. And we're so far away from the stage. But there's one shortcut to the stage, and that was D12 little dressing room. I look at him, he look at me. I say, Van Dyke and Harper. I see this man pick up his leg. Boom! Bust they door open. We go through there, cut through there. We make it to the stage. After the performance, we hear the manager, tour manager for D12, oh, blah, 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 woo. Somebody, woo, woo, woo. One of the security told, yo, it was 2 fat guys. They kicked the door in. I don't know if they took whatever, because they had money and jewelry and shit in there. We wasn't thinking that. We was trying to get to that, but that's one of the crazy shits. And I think the 9 to this day don't like motherfucker because of that situation. I'm sorry that went down. I'm sorry I incited that crazy shit, but yeah, that's what happened in New Orleans. It's most shit. And then there was a time in Philly, which I'm not going to talk about because of this ring on my finger.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, motherfuckers was bumping uglies on my bed. I ain't going to say who and all that shit. But, yeah, it was crazy shit, man. We did a lot of crazy shit back then. And that was before the pop-off.
Oh,
that was before the pop-off, man. I could talk about Chicago, too. I could go on and on, man. I'm just going to say a story in Chicago that had to do with Xanax, Lil Bow Wow, and Bone Crusher Daughter. I ain't going to say nothing else after that.
Just off those 3 topics, Jesus Christ. So where I wanted to come to intertwine with this now too, because actually minus Gordy because he's not here, but you guys actually have the Hair Juana, because it's Bango and Gordy produced by Foulmouth. So how did it initially do you think that was started it all off, the chemistry, and then it went on to Adventures of Bane Belushi?
Nope.
No,
we were already done.
Yeah, we were done.
Actually, no, we were done with the original version of what we had for the album. We had actually, me and him had already probably did half the album at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, we replaced a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We do that over the time. We just keep going. Honestly, when we start thinking an album's done, usually me and him will sit down, and we got this idea that goes kind of perfect every time. We'll listen to it together. We're like, yeah, it's dope. But we're both kind of questioning certain songs, and it's usually the next day. Either I hit him up or he hits me up, and he's like, yo, that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that wasn't it. That was it. Like we was then. I think now we're more calculated. He knows and I knows what goes, what we, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like through trial and error, we know what joints to jump on. But back then, we was jumping on anything that was, oh, this is boom. I got something to it. Like now, it's just like, no, that ain't it. No, that ain't it. No, okay, this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So our chemistry is insane. Like it's damn near without talking to each other. You already know.
And it's all natural. We do it right on the spot. Like, that's the one thing is, like, sometimes he's going to pick a beat I already made. But, like, for the most part, we do 2 or 3 tracks a day. We sit down, I play something that's already made so he can get his vibe. The second track, I make the beat. Almost every single time.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever a time where he's ever emailed me something and was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. It's always been so organic. Like, I come in, he plays something, I write, record. You know what I'm saying? Right then and then, right in that moment, that vibe is never lost. So it's never where I could hear something and I'll lose a vibe for it. I'm always right here, boom. Or I'll make something. He'll make it right then and there and be like, boom. Like Belushi season, for one. He played the sample. No, that's it. He's like, oh, no, I got another part of the sample I could flip. He flipped it, played it right then. I wrote it. Next thing you know, everyone's listening to it. Like, it's just crazy. Like, that's what's like that chemistry is something is crazy. It's real crazy.
We dropped it on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
We recorded on a Sunday. We recorded it that Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't plan on doing anything with it. We really liked it. We were trying to find a way to get it on the album. But the album was done. We had already got the masters back. So that's when we came up with the idea of putting the track out. Like now, like let's put this track out, despite it not being on the album.
So what I like about like how like your guys' chemistry is too, like because Rudy does really feel like a follow up to Adventures of Bane Belushi, because you guys have songs on there that I'm feeling like Biggie, and then if you go back and revisit the first one, it's like I think I'm ODB of A-. So it's like what you said about being calculated. Like was that part calculated about like, okay, the first one had ODB. So the second one we're gonna have the Biggie joint, or that kind of come like randomly with the Biggie one.
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's like one of the things like after you did it, like wow, okay, but it's the same formula as the Adventures. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right. It came natural to have a feeling like Biggie. He was influential on who I am as an MC. You know what I'm saying? It's someone I look to as an idol that I look after. You know what I'm saying? Look up after. Same thing for ODB. Like, you know what I'm saying? His whole vibe, what he put out is someone I looked after. So maybe on my next one, I do something else. Like, it's one of them things. It just happened. It's just because it's insane. It's a beautiful thing. It's like the hip-hop gods look down on you. Like, you can connect the dots here. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. Like, yeah, because that's how I roll.
So when you guys are like crafting songs, because I understand like the Lion King had like 2 versions, if I have my facts right. The one of Aztec, like it had originally there was 2 versions of that.
Yeah, that's real. We were originally going to do a big album, but actually that's on Pat. Pat came up with the idea to separate it, because all my tracks, not all my tracks, but a lot of my tracks weren't sitting next to when he dropped the pre-kill. It was going to be a big, we're going to do a real long album, and I was only going to do the majority. I wasn't going to do the whole thing. Because that's usually my role at Ben with Tech was, don't do the whole thing, but I would show up, do 7, or, you know what I mean? Do a decent amount for a few of his projects. But with that, we separated because of the sound. But we got pretty intricate with that, because once we separated it, we knew now which one was going to be the mixtape, what was going to be the album. And from that point, we needed to create, I think it was like 4 or 5 more tracks to finish the actual Lion King. So once we had I think 6 or 7 in place, we knocked them out in like a month. We had a good idea where we were going. I knew basically what style that the project needed to be finished. He knew what to do.
Well, the reason why I brought that up now is was that the first release from Metal Finger Music?
Technically, yes. But the Snake Pit was kind of the first representation of it, because we had just came up with the name, and like, we were already trying to do that. We were putting the idea together for about 6 months. And Snake Pit was originally supposed to be the original shit, but it wasn't ready yet. So we couldn't, it would have just been fake if we'd been like, yo, Middle Finger Music's our first release. We weren't there. We knew like what it was and where it was going, and everything was starting to be prepped and put together. It's just that project was ready to go. We could have waited a few months and then rolled out the 3 of them with each other, but you know what I mean? It just didn't make sense that way. But that was the beginning of, that was the true beginning of Middle Finger. But Tech's album was the first release.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, how many songs do you have with Bane that are unreleased? Because, like, I can only imagine, like, the things that didn't make both those albums, Adventures and Rudy.
60, 70.
Yeah, damn.
I'm not kidding.
Easy, because it was, like, for almost, like, 6 months. I was over this man's house every Saturday from, like, 8 in the morning until like 9, 10, or maybe sometimes 3 in the morning.
Oh wow, that's like overtime with G's.
Yeah, for like 6 months strong. So we got a lot of records. But is it hard? Fucking records.
Like, is it hard to like not release like what you recorded and like it's like, damn, yo, like I really want people to hear this, but like you guys know like the calculation has to be right. You can't just like throw it out there.
It's about that. It's about that. Yeah, it's pretty much that. And then sometimes the records are not strong. Like, I'm not going to say every record I make is, that bang.
Yeah.
You know, I come in here and I lay eggs sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So,
me too.
Yeah.
That's the beat. I'll tell them, like, yo, bro, you're dope on this, but I'm not feeling this beat.
Yeah, so some songs you may end up hearing, or some songs that you may not ever hear ever, but in the future, we probably got enough to drop a little B-side on people.
There's at least 20 that are really strong tracks we didn't release. It didn't fit. The vibe didn't fit, even if we really liked the track. There was a few times we really liked songs, but you're lining your shit up and everything's making sense. And then all of a sudden, it just, the feel goes left field. Some people get it, some people don't. But, you know, I think we really take that part serious with laying projects out. And, I mean, we spend months changing this track to this track. Last second taking this one out. Last second putting this one in. I mean, we spent a lot. We spent like 6 months on that part.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So
we worked on Rudy. We worked on Rudy for a while. Maybe it's a year and some change.
We would have put out a different version a while back, but we're not really satisfied with COVID situations with all of our releases. So some stuff didn't come out. So I think we're happy with it though, because we would have put out a different version of this album. If COVID didn't hit.
Because I was curious about that, because I remember like somebody was saying like Bane was supposed to come in 2020, and then like COVID kind of fucked everything up. So like with Bane, like, because we all know Foul used to rap, so like did you have to be like, yo, my man, it's like, you know, you're nice with the beats, but you gotta jump on this.
Some people try to get me on track still, but for the most part, I think when we sit down and I go to town, I go straight into producer mode. It's a lot different. Like, if there's been times where like Blizzard will come by, and then I'm like, I want to write with everybody and hang out and rap, because now for a minute I can sit back because I'm not doing anything. Yeah. It's a lot different when I'm sitting on the computer, because I'm not just making the beat, but I might be mixing the beat, I might be mixing the track. I'm doing the whole thing. I'm recording and mixing, you know. So like beyond just making the beat, and like he said, we do a lot of them right on the spot. So I stay busy with working as the producer and the engineer. But you get Blizzard over, or I'm done for the day. We know it. I might flip mode, and then I want to rap. I really got to be in the bag for it, because like the second I start engineering, I'm worried about the way the snare sounds. I'm not thinking about lines anymore. You know what I mean? It's like out of my head. It's a whole different. I don't know. It's weird. It's a whole different vibe. If I'm producing, I'm producing. If I'm engineering, I'm engineering. If I'm rapping, I'm rapping.
Okay, yeah, because I can only imagine, like, you know, like Bane has that ear, so he's like, yo, why don't you get on this? So yeah, you know, maybe in the future you can hear Bal and Foul do like a little Jaden Styles P, go back and forth with it.
I think I actually did jump on 2 tracks with Bang that never seen the light of day, but I'm super picky about it. If I'm not like a major plus for the track, I pull myself immediately.
Okay.
Because I don't think it makes sense to be the full-time producer. I don't want to show up just to say I rapped. Like, it needs to be like me in my bag, and if I'm not, then I don't want it on there.
And another thing about this guy over here, he's very picky. Like, now he's like producer guy. Like, he'll pen something recited a million times, spit it, and I was like, yo, that shit nice. I don't know. Like he's a huge critic to his own self. So we have to get him off the ledge. Like, bro, just spit it. It's dope. And he's got to that point.
That Dr. Dre perfection.
Yeah, like it's got to be like to the T. Like he's not playing. So I understand what he say. Like, but
even
that's a part of it too.
Even the cipher, I actually spit my verse.
Oh yeah, you are in the cipher. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Thank you. But I originally spit it really like I don't know if you're familiar with some of the old shit. Like sometimes I'll rap extremely hard, like super raspy. And it's like my two styles, the chill style and the raspy style. And I spit it with the raspy style. The night before I hated it, and I was like, I was cool with it for like a week, and then I decided the night before I hated it, and I tried like several different views of how to rap it. I literally rapped it with like going medium, going really soft, meet in the middle, and then eventually I settled on one of them, and I kept that one. So when we went to record the video, it was a whole different style of the verse than they'd even heard from the last time when I sent it out to everybody. It was a lot better, though. I'm really glad I made that decision because the raspy didn't fit. It was coming off beat styles. It didn't make sense for me to like attack the beat that powerful. It was it was almost like offsetting, like the wrong guy was joining the cipher. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because that cipher, that's the one where they had like Bane, you're on the stool. Where did you guys just go into the corner store and just grab the stool? It's like, yo, we taking this for a couple minutes.
Yeah, we was at a record store.
Oh,
and everybody knows I'm like the laziest man alive. So it was just like, yo, can I borrow this stool? Because I'm not going to stand outside. I'm going to sit outside and spit these ill bars.
Okay.
And that's what occurred. And Pat was nice enough to grab the stool, talk to the people. I grabbed it. You know what I'm saying? And I plopped up and did my thing on there.
So, like...
Yeah, me and Pop Off.
Yeah, you always reference Pop Off in your lyrics, and like especially like within like even some of your Instagram posts. So what I want to get into now is like RUDY. So
yes, sir.
So do you think because I remember when you posted the original photo of the album cover without like all the edits in the cartoon, like it's literally you behind these books. So do you think like that was the one? Is like I think that is gonna be the one because you could have chosen anything else.
No, it was like. Okay, so, of course, I'm Bang Belushi. Forever, I've been Rudolph, Jeffrey. I don't want to say my last name to people try to fuck my credit up.
The fans are crazy, especially the shade.
But I've been Rudolph Jeffrey. So everyone that you know, you, Pat, this man right here, anybody in the world has a mother. When you come to your mom's house, you come in, and your moms always have pictures everywhere. The one picture may be of you as a child somewhere right there, but that's the one that every time you come over, you see yourself as a child. That was my picture. If you come to my house, it's either that one or another picture I had a Jerry curl. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to go with the Jerry curl look. I went with the one with the peanut butter leisure suit, whatever, the pin little what's name, and I was you know what I'm saying? And it meant something to me because I know at that moment being a parent and a father now, that's the picture you look at and you see your son like, damn, he's going to be someone.
Yeah.
I really didn't become anything.
Hey, don't say that.
So it's just like, every time I see it, like, that's lost hopes. I could have been whatever, like, but that's the photo that kind of, so when I see it, I was like, this is an album cover.
The potential of the man.
This is an album cover. So I was going to go with that. But we got to take it a step higher because my first album, Adventures, was animated, and it was dope as fuck. So when I went to my man Peace to Cancer, who destroyed it, I was like, man, I need that cartoon vibe, and this is because that picture solidifies to me or means to me, this is what I was before I became Shimmy Bango, before I came Bang Belushi. So if you look at that drawn picture, there's so much hope in this young kid, but you see the frame.
Yeah, it has like women.
It's with women, weed, guns, police. It's the shit that turned me into what you see right here. I turned into Bang because of the environment I was in. You know what I'm saying? Which is so dope. It's like art. So that and the content of the music of RUDY and the birth of RUDY also came. One of the homies came to me and gave me his honest opinion of the Adventures. He's like, yeah, that shit dope. That's hip hop. But you wasn't, I don't know who you are. And that's what really, that comment, I was like, what? That's why the intro is deep.
Yeah.
The outro is super deep. Because I want people to understand, like, I'm just like you. I have a platform where I can express my shit. But I just wanted people to understand Rudy and Bang. To me, they like two different people. Like, to me, I'm like, I have two personalities. Yeah. I live a life where I'm Rudy for 8 hours out of day. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'm Bang. Then again, I'm my father on top of that. So it's almost 3 or 4. I'm a husband. So it's just like it's different layers that I give you on this record, which is Bang. But Rudy is just, you know what I'm saying? I need you to understand that I'm also Rudy as well.
Because, like, yeah, I like how you pointed that out with the intro and the outro now, because that intro, because I like when somebody puts their thought, and, like, it really hits home, because, like, damn, I felt that. So when you said that, like, the whole thing going on with your dad not picking up for your mom, and you being really close with Bob Rock, I was like, damn, you know, like, that's really something that I think that people would not know about you. They're like...
No, for sure. And I also attribute that to Jay-Z. Because if you look at Jay-Z's career, a lot of rappers will tell you, I got the ring, I got the chain, I got this, that, and the third, but they don't tell you why they got this. Why they in that situation. Every step of the way, every album Jay-Z tells you, he levels up every one. You know what I'm saying? I kind of took that too, like, damn, okay. Motherfuckers will tell you they hustling out this world. He told you why he hustled. He wish he wouldn't. He'd rather be telling Kweli, but in this situation, he's this. I respected that. A lot of dudes just tell you they got this, that, and the third, and that's it. And that's why they hear and they go on the next day. I look at projects as like they're the most realist and shit that you can get from an artist. And if you're able to show some vulnerability within that and show people steps to why you're this way, I drink Pop Off like crazy. You pick up Rudy, you understand why I drink Pop Off like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Why I do what I do. Because I've been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. It's some relatable shit, man. I'm just trying to relate to the average man.
See, I like how you pointed that out now, too, like getting into the pop-off and foul with the Black and Mild. So, like, what I want to ask is, like, so, like, when did you have your first Black and Mild, and then when did you have your first pop-off?
Oh, man, Black and Mild.
I never had Black and Mild, so I don't know shit about that.
Anybody who knows me knows I was a heavy cigarette smoker for a long time, and 2015, I quit smoking. I quit smoking for 3 years. And one day, this kid left a Black and Mild at my house. Now, remind you, I've been around Black and Milds for years and could have cared less about them. I really didn't give a fuck about a Black and Mild. And this kid left a Black and Mild here, and I hit that fucker one time, and it was beautiful. It was like a match made in heaven, and I knew it. And I had met one of my new best friends, and it was Black and Mild Select. So I enjoyed my new friend, and every day I enjoy my new friends more and more for the last 3 years.
And me with the pop-off, I had a friend, he's family. He's family. I'm not going to put him out there. He worked on cars. Unfortunately, he was a fiend. You know what I'm saying? He smoked rocks. You know what I mean? He used to work on my car and shit. And he had a red bottle, a bottle of whatever. I've always been a connoisseur of spirits. So, let me see that shit. I took a sip. Like, it's not too much bad. I used to drink a lot of, like, Belvedere, all the top shelf shit. Like, this ain't too far from that. And he was like, you know what? It don't even get you sick either. And he's a fiend telling you this. You know, fiends are invincible type motherfuckers. And I started drinking it from then. And I always tell her, like, a fiend put me up on this shit. And I have 2 up on Pop-Up. But most of the time, I'm never, like, really, like, sick or I feel ill in the morning. So I've been a Pop-Off advocate ever since then. I may change, you know what I'm saying? But right now, Pop-Off, you know what I'm saying? Cut your boy a check, man. I got you alive in the hip-hop game, Pop-Off.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
It's got a whole video.
A Russian guy came to me at an event. It was like, I see you with this Pop-Off, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit vodka. You need to drink such as up vodka. Like, so apparently, Pop Off is like the middle finger music of vodka or type shit. Like, they'll try to, like, you know what I'm saying? They on some other shit.
They try to hate on a player.
They try to hate on the player and shit. I fuck with you, Pop Off, heavy.
Yo, for real, because he has a whole video dedicated to it called Red Bottles out there.
Man, because I live this shit. Like, I gotta go back to Adventures. Adventures was birthed every Saturday off Pop Off and Rippets. You know what I'm saying? I slowed down drinking Rippets, but that's what that was. So everybody around the way that come to the Snake Pit know Bang be off Red Bottles. Everybody that know me around Detroit know I drink my Pop Off. I drink a Red Bottle. So it was only right to do a joint, you know what I'm saying, dedicating it to the Red Bottle.
Damn, so like, and like what we were talking about before we were doing the test runs too, is like, with the Red Bottles track now, that really brought me back to 03, 04, because like, it brings you back to that era when that sound was like, because let's not deny that Cheers or like D12, that was everywhere back then. So when you hear like Red Bottles, it's like a reminiscence of that time. And that's what I like, because a lot of these kids nowadays, they're like, oh, it's the Wayne era, or it's like the Drake era. It's like, nah, do you guys not understand that there was a time where this shady aftermath where you could say bitch, fuck, faggot, all this shit on the radio, and then none of this was getting consequences? So when I hear about Red Bottles, it's like, it took me back to that time. It's like, that essence still hasn't died. It just has a new twist to it with a new generation. Because you were around from there, but this is the new season.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last. That era to me was the last of the era. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure a generation before me will say, no, it was that part. Because after that, everything went to how it is now.
Everything's like, oh, I love you. Oh,
everybody's auto-tuning and singing their shit.
Wearing purses, dresses.
But like, I could never, I'd never transform my sound. Well, let me stop lying. I'm like water. I could transform to anything. But you're gonna hear, you know what I'm saying, the shit that I grew up on, the shit I make, you know what I'm saying, why change it? The shit is dope.
We say cancel culture type shit. I mean, that's just realistic. I really don't care what people think about it. It's like no personal discrimination on anybody or what they do. We came up in a battle era. It's a lot different. Now, I'm a few years younger than him, but I looked up to his whole era and how they were doing it. And I was about 18 when all that started popping off, you know. So for me personally, watching how that went, and we still got that mind state don't just leave you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had to earn it here. You weren't given anything back then, and it was a lot of it was just freestyling. Like if you couldn't come correct freestyling, they would tell you are not an MC. You were not an MC.
Detroit. I can't speak on any other market, but Detroit, when I was coming up, it was like if you went to open mic and you wasn't dope, you was kind of like gambling with your well-being. Like if you was whack, dudes would probably put hands on you. Like you had no choice but to spit the best bars you ever had because you'd get into a fight. Or you had to bring reinforcements with you. It was that serious. Like Detroit is a whole nother angle. Like 8 Mile was a little small piece of the picture for the world to see, but it was magnified by at least 3 times. Like they kept it PG. Like
I can imagine.
No, for real. I seen dudes get fucked up because dudes was getting that Apollo treatment. Like get the fuck off the stage with that. And they try to have a heart, and Hex would kick that heart right out your motherfucking chest.
Yeah.
Hex would be at the shit with a squeeze bottle full of fucking 5 o'clock vodka. I'm sorry, Hex, put out your medicine out there, but he had a squeeze bottle. He'll just sip it all night and be, you know what I'm saying? And it was like that. And that's just how it was back then, man. And you had a lot of monsters. You had Elzai, Guilty, Super MC. You know what I'm saying? Obie Trice, Fat Father, Mar, Quest McCody. Like, you had some heavy hitters. Myself, King Gordy.
In one building regularly.
Like, Fat Cat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dudes was in there, so it was like you had to bring it. Like, you had to bring it every fucking time. Like, it was nuts, man. And back then, the difference between now and then, it was spots where dudes in Detroit could display they skills. Ebony Showcase, Hip Hop Shop. You had Lush Lounge. You had it was a spot. I can't remember the name. It was on Telegraph. Bullfrog as well. It was another spot too on Telly. I forgot. It's near 6 Mile. But yeah, it was a lot of spots. But now it's just like not too many spots for dudes to display their skills and shit like that. So you resort to Instagram and shit like that, and it be like false. Because you could buy followers on Instagram.
Yeah, and that's like, I never
you could buy shit and be thinking you popping.
Why you buy? I always wanted to ask these people, why you buying sex bots? Sorry to cut you off, but like you're literally buying sex bots.
No, for sure. Like I don't even know about that.
You could buy respect back then. You had to earn that shit.
Yeah, you had to earn it. You had to earn it, and then proof was everywhere. If you had a proof stamp, you was it in Detroit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't a proof out there right now. It's people doing their thing, whatever, but proof was everywhere. Proof was with the street rappers, with the backpackers. He was everything. He's the mayor and will always be the mayor of hip-hop in Detroit. Can't nobody replace him. None of that. Like, I learned a lot from Big Proof. You know what I'm saying? I would always love that man and the whole nine. Proof for real.
You know what you said about Hex being there during watching the battles. Shout out to my co-host, my only co-host, Firstborn. He shared some stories about when him and Proof used to go to these battles, and what you said, Hex would be standing there, and if he's smiling, oh shit, you got a problem,
man. So see, that's all. I was lucky to meet Hex. Like I said, he came home from prison. I came home from county jail. He was my first A&R in music. And he looked at me like, little bro, like nothing bullshit gonna come to you. He put me in situations where I could prosper. You know what I'm saying? He was the first manager of Fat Killahz. He was with me with almost every journey. Every journey. You know what I'm saying? In my hip-hop life. So, I love Hex to my dying day. You know what I'm saying? To my dying day.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got that Hex follow back. So, Hex, I know you're watching, so you're a salute to you. Hex.
Murder!
So like, even with like you two coming together for Rudy now too, do you guys think that you guys would ever form like a 3-man group with you, Bub Rock, and Foul? Because the chemistry between you guys is like, okay, I know Bane Belushi and Bub Rock album is gonna be fire, but let's add Foul Mouth to the production to that group.
This guy knows everything.
I try to know everything I can hear.
That's called the in crowd. We already recorded the whole project.
Well, I didn't see it happening. I just knew it was a guy from New York that came here, and at first it was rocky. Like at first, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would come up, we was filling each other out, and then it clicked after a couple weeks. Then it'd be every time I came over here, we'll do a song that the whole crew be like, "Damn, this is cold. Damn, this is cold." Then I would just come over and me and him would just kick it. Might not even record nothing. We just chop it up. Or we'll just drink some Henny. Or I'll force him to drink some Pop-Off. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, man, we should do some shit. Fire Mouth like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what it was, man. In crowd, the whole situation. The chemistry just was crazy.
So how is it producing for Bub Rock, Foul? Because I noticed you do a majority of your production. Like, you've been producing full albums since 2008?
Yeah, because 2000, I mean, for when it actually got released was 2010. I did the majority of the Bash Brothers record. That was the first album I did a ton of beats on. Producing for Bub is really easy. He's extremely fast. It's like working with Bang. They knock out verses in like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Yeah, like regularly, like not just like, whoa, I did one in 20 minutes. Like they're usually 20, 25 minutes. And then they just rap right on the spot. And during that 20, 25 minutes, because I'm meticulous as fuck anyways, I'm going to spend the whole 20, 25 minutes just doing more shit to the beat, making it sound better. By the time, sometimes they'll get done, I'm like, give me 5 more minutes. Because I'm still doing shit. The beat might have been done already, but maybe I'm tweaking a snare or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get the best out of the shit. So it's usually pretty quick. Nobody's sitting around waiting on each other. That's the good part is once you get that organic feel down correctly, it becomes a very easy process. Me and him, it was right away. Same thing with Bob. Like, he just sits down, he writes his verses, 20 minutes, we knock them out. We knock out full songs in an hour, move on to the next one, you know? So as long as we stay that way, once you got that understanding and you know what you're going for, you understand the end goal, it makes things a lot easier.
See what I don't understand is now too, I always see the praise like other rappers get that have no skills, and then the rappers that do have skills, like no one's covering them. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this media? Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like, every time I see, like, these major sites, like, yo, I don't even give a fuck if Complex don't want to hire. I got the email saying they don't want to hire. I don't give a fuck about that. Man, fuck you, Complex. Are you coming?
Tell them why you mad.
But, like, you have artists out of Detroit. You have, like, a Ty Ferris and Bozak Morris that released a Wire Different album. Ain't nobody like was covering it or talking about it. So it's like, dude, are you guys listening to these lyrics and this wave that's going on, or are you only concerned about Griselda? Because if you go listen to Middle Finger Music, you have Aztec, you have Bane Belushi, you have Catch P, you have Gypsy, you have Foulmouth, there's Fat Father. Like, I don't get like how we see like, oh, there's no lyricists out there, there's only Griselda. Dude, you have to go look for this shit, and it shouldn't be to the point where they'll look it throughout the internet. It should be right there, like how Complex has these like fucking artists that don't do anything.
Shit, we got local media here that still won't cover us. We won't get into all that. You know, some of them show us mega love, and they treat us like we want to be, like as if we feel like we're doing it right, you know. And we do get love, but then there's cats we don't get love from, and we really don't understand it, you know. We feel like we're doing a pretty good job with the music. I think we're doing a great job with the music, and it's just going to continue to get better because we're all willing to keep growing. We all know, like I said, having an understanding of the end game and knowing, like, yo, like, are you making music for yourself, or are you making music for a national fan base?
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to make music for a national fan base. It's cool to get to that point and know you're legit, but it's a lot cooler to make better music than everybody else. Because that's what we want to do. We want to be the very best.
Yeah, at the end of the day, your product got to be insane. And that's what we have. You know, you can't deny good music. Or you only can deny good music for so long. And it only takes one person to be like, boom. And if that one person be like, boom, it's a wrap. So, us as Middle Finger Music, with that name, understand. And we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get ours regardless at the end. We just gonna keep pushing. That's why that middle finger's forever up. You know what I'm saying? It's forever up.
And that's what I expect about you guys is creating something that your own instead of trying to like live off like what's the right word for it? Trying to live off the coattails of like the Obie and like Bizarre thing because you guys both have ties for them, but you guys never bring that up. Like some people who know it, you know, but you know, there's some artists out there, or even some people like I was with so and so back in the day, or I was doing this with him back then. You guys never bring that up because you guys want to earn it on your own. You don't want to live off the coattails of lawyers or be like being the hype man. Because if you did, we wouldn't have never got Adventures of Bane Belushi, The Snake Pit. It's like you want to create something that's your own, not something living off someone.
That was one of the reasons that made me gravitate to the situation. Like, gravitate to Middle Finger, because the premise, while we started this, was a middle finger to everybody that wasn't recognizing the real and good music. Like, everybody was just kind of like trying to put themselves in one situation, and that's the only thing that can pop. No, fuck that. Middle finger, everybody. Everyone gets love where we from. Like, fuck that. We not finna be like, cause you in this circle, you that circle. Nah. Middle finger everybody. We coming into this bitch and we just like, we gonna do what we gonna do. Like, that's why I love it. That's what made me gravitate to it. It was like, yeah, I gotta be at the forefront of this shit and help this shit become bigger. Like, fuck all that shit, man. Cause it's ways of people do business. Fuck that shit. If you dope, let's get it popping. If you not, I'm not fucking with you. That's the only reason I'm not fucking with you is because you're not dope. But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna fuck with you because you fuck with this person. That's sucking shit. And that's how some people move. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a part of this, I'm not fucking with you. Yeah. Fuck that. I fuck with everybody. You show me love, I show you love. Flat out. And that's the only way I move.
And like, I never really understood when someone's showing you love, they don't acknowledge it. Like, that's like, you're the one who looks weird for not acknowledging it.
Man, it's crazy. And coming from Detroit, even outside of the hip hop shit, it's a crab in the barrel mentality here in the city. You know what I'm saying? That's outside of music. It's just how people hustle, how people move. And some of that shit kind of infiltrated the hip hop shit. I'm here to tell you, we not part of that. We're not part of that crab in the barrel shit. I love to see people win from my city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that shit. Pick up the top Ferris. You winning, bro. I love that shit. Anybody else, everybody that like that. I'm not on that tip, but it's some people that think that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my city. And it's like that in other cities too, I'm pretty sure. But you know what I'm saying? That's why middle finger here is to like put a middle finger to all that mentality. Fuck all that crab in the barrel shit. We all won. We was Motown. Let's bring it back to Motown where when one win, we all win. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to see everybody come up. Because at my age, I'm trying to see your kids win, my kids win, his kids win, all that shit. So let's stop that shit, man.
See, what I like about you guys too now is like you guys could have easily just said quit it after, you know, a certain time, like 2010 or like let's say 2012, but you guys kept going at it. So one of the biggest questions, and I like to always bring this up within music. So Fal, have you and Bane ever talked about a Fat Killahz reunion? Because I know it's very, because I asked Marv this too, but he said they don't want to touch the legacy on this. But I think like even a song with just a Fat Killahz would be well needed because they came out.
Hey, Lo, what did Marv tell you?
They don't want to mess up the legacy.
We're gonna go with Marv. We're gonna go with Marv on that.
All right. Well, from the producer standpoint, if it was up to me, I would be fucking. Damn. I would love to. Bro, I just want to do a joint. Just let me do one. Yeah. You know what I mean? So let me do one. I've worked with all of them. I've never been able to get all four of them on a track. I just want one. Give me one.
I'm sticking with Marv. Whatever Marv say, because I talked to Marv. I talked to Fats. I talked to Gordy. What Marv say, I'm sticking with what he say. He put that out there, and I'm gonna ride with him on that. On that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I think like I like to refer to like the Who's Coming to Dinner. Like the Detroit's Mad Villainy album. Because it came out at a time where, like, you know, the internet wasn't really popping back then. But if you go back and do the history on some of these artists like Bane, you realize that they were part of these groups. And then this music aged so well over time. It's like, damn, yo, like, if they would have come back in, like, this era with all this lo-fi and bar heavy things, yo, people would go crazy for this. Not to mention the legacy that everyone created for themselves.
I agree.
Hey,
I can't concur with what you're saying or deny what you're saying. You're absolutely correct.
That's why the group's so dope, though. Is it's clearly 4 solo artists.
Yeah.
That are a bunch of fucking dope fat lyricists. There's nothing else like that. That shit's so dope.
You know what I'm gonna do, Lo? I'm gonna go and create a GoFundMe and see how many people will fund a Fat Killahz project.
You know, if I had that Joe Rogan money, I would throw that money at you guys. If I had that Rogan money,
if we get a certain amount, I give me a new chain. You know what I'm saying? New little piece and shit, the whole nine, and we could go out here and ride or die it together. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, if I ever get that Joe Rogan studio and deal, I'll be like the first thing I'm doing. I'm like, all right, let's give $500,000 to Vish, let's give $500,000 to Bane. And let's give $500,000 to this guy, and let's just do a Fat Killahz album.
That shit would be phenomenal, man.
Because, like, what I like about you guys, I won't keep you guys for much longer, is now, too, you guys have that chemistry that, I like to say, like, it's like Dr. Dre and Snoop, but it has the own Detroit style to it. Like, I was curious if you got Bane rapping over some of your trap beats, because I know you make trap beats, too, Fal.
Yeah. Trap God. There's one on the album.
Yeah, it is one on the album. Murder featuring my man Extra Overdose and Jay Classy.
No, I meant like not that kind of trap. I mean the one with the high like.
You talking about Detroit trap shit?
No, I'm talking about like that Chicago trap shit.
No, man. That's that's they shit. They got they drill.
Yeah.
We got our own trap shit, which you'll never hear
from another
Bang Belushi on ever in life. Big up to everybody doing the Sada Babies and 42 Dougs and T Grizzlies.
Just not our sound.
I didn't come from that type shit. It'll never happen. Big up to Elzai and Guilty, Fat Cat. That's what I come from, the Dilla shit. Big up everybody doing that because Detroit is full of that, and that's what we're known for on the mainstream. But nah, you'll never hear me on that type of flavor. Big up to them. I respect it. Even though you might hear the sarcasm, I love it. Respect anybody winning that's bringing light to the city. I love it. But I'm a hip-hop dude. Respectfully.
See?
Respectfully.
And y'all have to respect the lyricists out there, because he could be out there saying, like...
Hold on, Lo. I forgot. Shout out to Stretch Money, too, man.
Oh.
He a monster. He do whatever. He water like me. Like, he could do whatever. Peace to Stretch Money, man.
Yes, sir. I see him
Seven
working.
the General, too, man. That's my guy.
Okay. I was going to say, I see Stretch working out there at the stage show. Yes, sir. So, like, with you guys coming together now, too, with the merch, or for Rudy now, too, have you guys ever thought about, like, releasing, like, your own liquor? Because I'm pretty sure you can get, like, pressed up liquor bottles for, like, a limited quality. I could see, like, Middle Finger Music, Pop Off Bang.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got a plug with a distiller in the city, too. I never thought of that. Thank you, Lo. I'm going to reach out to him to see if we can get some Rudy vodka popping out here.
Ooh, Rudy vodka. There you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get that shit going, because I definitely would be a part of that whole making that shit. I might move in. I'm going to tell my wife I'm moving into the distillery. Fuck the dumb shit.
Well, because, like, I always see, like, collector items. Like, somebody posted, like, the 5 anniversary, and this guy had, like, socks, a skateboard. And I was thinking about, like, merchandise for, like, you. I was like, man, Bane's always referring to Pop Off. So maybe you guys
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, and then...
Man, I've been off this Pop Off shit for many years. No one holler at me. I mean, I've done a lot trying to get that Pop Off, so...
Well,
they got a couple months. They got one more month, then I'm moving over to something different. Jay-Z just made a move. So I might fuck around, man.
Get some gold bottles up in there.
I tell you, I might switch to brown in a minute.
Well, because when you guys released the Lucy's, it was the pack of cigarettes with, like, the cigarette coming out, and I could see, like, Fowl, like, having his own pack of, like, Black and Milds, like, limited edition.
He needs it. He fucking needs it.
Yeah. And you know, like, because collectors out there, I noticed that there's a culture collector out there, and they'll buy some of the most, like, weirdest collector items, but then over time, it would be, like, these guys would, like, hey, this went up in value, but I was like, man, I just want it because I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, that should be fucking crack.
So like with Rudy, now I know there's vinyl collectors out there. So hey, Copper Crates, if you listening, or my guy who did Eddie Kane and Wavy's vinyl.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yo, can we get the Rudy vinyl? Cause don't
I'm trying to tell you, man. And shout out to Wavy too, man. I got a project coming with Wavy that's gonna follow up the Rudy. It's called Belushi on God. Wavy the God and Bang Belushi on God. That's coming. That's gonna follow up. That's crazy as well. Like, trust me, Lo. When I tell you, you hear Rudy too, you hear you gonna see, like, you know what I mean? They go together. So we working out here, man. Middle finger.
Yeah, you're gonna get 12 albums from us over these next 2 years, and that's actually realistic.
Yeah, because I see you guys been having, like, little sessions even in the Snake Pit. I remember when I think it was in Foul in the Snake Pit when you guys had Knowledge to Pirate, Rim.
Top, man.
Yeah, so I'm over here. I was like, damn, yo, I wonder what this track's gonna be.
We did a track that day.
Yeah, they did, man. We got some shit on top. 2021. Yeah, I mean, Rudy's just the start. We got a lot of shit coming. Peace to Fat Father, Soccer Dad. That's coming
up next.
That's up next. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Gypsy too, man. His album right now. Yep. You know what I mean? So we got shit coming. Catch P.
The brand new Browns coming
Isaac
soon.
Castor, who is on my album.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Finishing up his album right now.
Tech finishing up his album. Aztec, the Barfly. So we got things. Shout out to my man Kane, Coliseum Rock. We got shit popping, man.
So Middle Finger Music compilation happening, or are we gonna get these solos out first?
Solos out first, because the compilation's something that I'd like for COVID. I think we'd all like for COVID to go away a little bit, so we can get that fresh new feel of everybody sitting together again. Getting everybody in a room it's been a minute since we've been able to do that. You know, we still get a few, but that's it right now.
Because I can see, like, you know, like Bane and Fats going off, and then like having Isaac on there, like, see, like that's, and then having like a whole album featuring the roster. I think, but I understand like the getting the solos out first, so everybody gets well acquainted, and then when you guys come together for complication, it makes more sense.
Oh no, for sure, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. You just gotta be patient. Everybody doing their thing right now. You know what I'm saying, for the movement, Middle Finger movement. We dropped these albums. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But right now we focus on our collective projects, and we'll see what happens in later 2021 in the future.
And Tom, we're just going to call this right now. If the blogs ain't picking up on Rudy, when this Bub Rock and Bane album comes out, yo, I guarantee that these people could be like, yo, where was this guy? It's like, yo, go back to 2018 and you can find out everything about Bane Belushi. We're supposed to get foul in 2018, but we got more foul this time, though.
You already know. You already know, man. Rudy is what's popping right now. The album jumps off, and by the time people get this, it'll be out. And it's going to be something for history. For the history of Detroit hip-hop, for the history of hip-hop itself. Middle Finger Music, Bang Belushi, Foul Mouth. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. Now, Fal, before I let you go now, for the Snake Pit follow-up now, are we going to get a new beat tape, or are we going to get the compilation over the Foul Mouth before beat tape from you?
You're going to get the new beat tape. That's actually, I'm like 1 or 2 beats away from being done, and I'm getting ready to start shooting a couple videos for it. This one's going to be a little more cinematic. I named it Rhinestone Limousine.
I love that name.
Thank you.
How fly is that?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, what's a rhinestone limousine? It's anything. It's whatever you want it to be. And for me, sound-wise, that's what this project is I didn't stay and I didn't. You know, me and Pat usually sit down and we come up with a goal for the name, and then I try to create the music that fits it. And this time around, I had a lot of stuff that was really different, that all sat really well together. And for me, that was the name that made the most sense for what I believe the sound was, especially for the videos, the whole thing. You'll see it when we start presenting it. And I'm aiming for August without setbacks.
Man, you're shooting videos for a beat tape? I don't think I've heard anyone do that before. They may have had, so I may be doing, but that's the first time.
Yeah, we've got a few of them. I've got a few of them on YouTube.
Okay.
The beat tapes. Yep.
See, like, I think like that's what like. That's new, because you know when a producer drops a beat tape, they just kind of throw it out there. They're like, well, maybe a video would be nice.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. The only thing is with videos with beat tapes, you got to be creative. You're right. You're not rapping. You know what I mean? So the key is to be creative and keep it interesting.
So before I let you guys go now, too, are we ever gonna get Lars and Foul Mouth album?
I don't know. That could always be a possibility. Me and Bizarre have had talks and shit recently, so everything's just kind of the spur of the moment. Like with the ideas of starting a project, all it takes is the right day where the three of us get together, and it's really that simple. If it works out, like it'll happen right then and there, and then the move will start moving. It'll immediately have movement. You know what I mean? I don't want to guarantee anything, but that's definitely a possibility.
Okay. See, like with you two now coming together for Rudy, like I said, they don't pick these blogs up now. Y'all tripping. So with you guys having the red bottles out now too, before I let you go, have you guys planned to do like a virtual concert or like a documentary showing the making of Rudy? Because I think like the fans would like a documentary of like how this album was made.
I mean, it could be a possibility. I only had one session recorded. to one of the homies.
With one of the cameras, right? Like they have a camera recording you?
Yeah, with the camera, yeah. One session for Rudy that was recorded that I know of. For real, just to be honest, that I know of that's recorded. I put out some of that footage already. That's on my IG at bang_Belushi_. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can check it out there. But I mean, if someone has the time to put all the fuckery together for me, then it can happen.
Hey, yo, if you guys ever have, like, sessions of, like, Middle Finger music, yo, I'll gladly do the Middle Finger documentary music for free.
Oh, crazy.
We fucking love that.
Yeah, you are on camera and it's documented that you said you'll do it for the free 99.
Hey, for the people listening out there, I do all this podcasting shit for free. I don't make no money off of this.
My man, Low.
Yeah, we appreciate the love on that.
Yeah, so, yeah, if I was doing it for money, I would be like, yo, Pat, can I get $500? Nah, man, I'm gonna do this shit for free.
Your face.
Nah, man, because I think because there's other people like me that want to know about these new tech. It's a label. Everyone's like these labels are dying, but I like to call these labels now as like of a collective. And the beginning stages, like look at Griselda. Everyone was going about like Mike Powers. He's documenting the beginning of Griselda. Well, there's other crews out there like the Walkers and Middle Fingers that I would like to see like many documentaries come. So if you guys can get footage over time, maybe in 2023 this could actually happen.
No, for sure. We'll document. Yeah, you gotta come here. You gotta come out of
where you at in Canada?
Canada and bring some of that good ass Canada weed with you, man.
So I moved since we last talked. I moved to this town called Prince Albert. It's two hours away from Bane's favorite place, Saskatoon.
Hi, Saskatoon, Captain. Yeah.
Never look at that place the same again.
Ever again in life. I love Saskatoon. What else, Saskatoon?
But yeah,
how far from Detroit are you?
Like 8 hours, I think.
Yeah, eight of the damnedest.
Yeah.
You should just pick out a time when you got the time off. You know you can do it. You could just stay here. Just come over here.
Like for sure, man.
If you really want to do it, we'll do. I'll make sure it's done correctly.
Well, like I even told Pat. Your Pat was saying he's like, yo, that could happen. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna come out there and expect free shit, man. I'm gonna come out there. And
I got you. You can just come. You can just, bro. This is like whenever we bring people in, like people come around and shit. They come stay here.
Oh no, I'll be
out here, and it's good sized and shit.
But I like to also, appreciate now too. So like, hey, I don't drink, but I'll buy guys some booze if you want to. Be like, I don't drink. Just give it a loud.
Hey, I was gonna drink anyway, so I don't think you straight on that too.
As long as got the loud, we good. But
yeah, for sure.
But I think now too, like the album comes out Tuesday.
Yeah, it come out Tuesday, 3/16, baby.
Oh wow! So this day, the interview today comes out. The album comes out. So once you all listening to this album, make sure you all come back to this interview and actually get some insight about the creation between these two gents. Because I really wish these two gents had more interviews out. Because I love listening to old interviews by you guys. Like the one that you guys did with Aztec. I must have played that like 4 times over the past like 6 months. I'm like. Because the stories that we need from that, they don't get told nowadays. So I appreciate you guys coming on this platform and dealing with my asses, like dealing with like, yo, can you tell me about this? Hey, I'm just a curious fan like everybody else.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yo, man, you have the best interviews ever, bro. Like, you really be on your shit. You know who you interview. So it's nothing but love, and nothing but love I return back to you. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy doing your interviews. It's the best.
I appreciate all the love you guys show me too, and if you guys ever need anything, just holler at me. We'll make this happen. So is there any?
For sure.
And then there's the Middle Finger Music CEO himself.
That's the third member right there, so we need to get a shot at him.
Hey, yo, Lo, whenever you need a fucking introduction to your shit, I got you, bro.
Oh, I appreciate you.
I'll make magic for you.
Okay, I've been wanting to switch it up, so we may have to do that.
Yeah, for sure. We got you, bro.
So is there anything?
Yeah, you need a Descalo track, bro. We'll make sure it's good.
Woo. Yo, shout out to Wavy and Kano for the very first Descalo skit, man. That shit meant the world to me. So when you guys are doing that, man, that shit means a lot. So hey,
word.
Is there anything that you, well, since past there too, anything that you three would like to plug in before we let you go? I'll put in all the links to your websites at the link in bottom for people listening.
Hey, I need you over here for this. This guy, hey, yo, goes on rants and he gets everything in there. I won't say nothing that makes sense.
Oh, no, I'm going to start it off like this. We got the Red Bottle Destroyer t-shirts on destroyeverythingdet.com.
As you can
Cop
see.
you a shirt. Destroyeverythingdet.com. Get you one of those shirts. It's the Red Bottle Destroyer. And I'm going to let Pat take over from here.
What up, Dolo?
What up, Dolo?
313. Go to Linktree, Middle Finger Music 313 to get all the middle finger shit. Foulmouth 313 on Instagram, Middle Finger Music 313 on Instagram. And shout out to you, Lo. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you too. We finally got him on camera, people. So yeah, that's Pat 313, y'all.
We can do our interview, man.
Yeah!
So yeah, Fowler, anything you want to plug in before I let you go? Can we get the Black and Mild pack soon?
Yeah, these are the best ones. This is Black and Mild Select.
Oh, no.
They're smoother. They're the smoothest ones. They're the lights. They're not harsh like the other ones. They're absolutely perfect. These are the perfect ones.
Okay, I was going to say, I meant your custom ones, but yes, you can give them the shout out to you. Black and Mild, sponsor my mans.
If you come out here, I'll make sure I get you some, because you got to at least taste it and enjoy how great it is. It is perfect.
Yeah, I was going to reach for my inhaler. I'm like, I don't know, man. I may have an asthma attack in your place off of hitting one of those.
That's my joy right there.
All right.
I made sure I never stopped smoking the whole time we did this interview. I went through a couple of them.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were smoking heavy during this interview. I think this is the first time we ever had somebody like blowing loud in the interview.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We got bad habits. Lots of tobacco to go with it, too.
Look how much Papa, I drank all this to myself during the interview.
If you open
I got other shit to do after this, and I got to drink the rest after that. Hopefully I don't have to buy another one. But hopefully I do have to buy another one.
I was like, yo, if you guys create some magic tonight, I'm like, yo, that night he finished off 2 bottles of Pop-Off.
2 bottles of Pop-Off, I'm trying to tell you.
But with that being said, it's another classic interview from the Desk Low. All the links at the bottom. Make sure you click and support them. And just go listen to these guys' music. Snake Pit, Adventures of Bane, Belushi, and Rudy. You ain't going to be denied. Even the Rabbit Hole at Lion King. I could go on and on about them. But tap in. Hey, salute to you, gents. You guys are welcome back anytime.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, peace, lows.
Welcome back from the Desk of Low. I have someone very special to Detroit. I'm actually very honored that he posted my ASAC the Butterfly interview because I've heard of the group that he was in before and I knew of him before his name changed. So, formerly of the Fat Killahz and formerly known as Shimmy Bango, I proudly introduce, who I have on the phone, Bane Belushi.
Yeah, your boy Bang Belushi. What up, Lo?
How you doing, sir? Happy New Year.
Man, I'm pretty good, man. This has been an amazing New Year. You know what I'm saying? Dropped an album. We had another kid. It's been crazy, but yeah, it's been crazy. That's what I can say. It's been real crazy.
Oh, congrats on the Adventures of Bane and your bundle of joy, sir.
Thank you so much. A lot of hard work went into both projects.
No, you can definitely tell with the Adventures of Bane and Belushi. I was actually Bane that album yesterday when I was running around.
Oh wow, that's dope. That's dope. I appreciate that love. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. I was even putting my my homies onto that. I'm like, yo, you see this guy right here? You guys know the Fat Killahz right here? I'm like, this guy was a part of the Fat Killahz, but they ain't tuned in like how I'm tuned in.
Oh, okay.
But they do know of Shimmy Bango because of your single with Obie Trice that we used to listen to back in 2001, I believe.
Yeah. Which joint? Because we had a couple joints.
It was like a one like on a CD cover. Just give me a second. I actually have it in my phone.
Oh, okay.
But while I'm looking for it too, why the name change, Bane?
It was more so of a rebirth, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was called Get
the
Back.
best way I could put it, like how the caterpillar, you know what I'm saying, transforms into the butterfly type thing. I needed something new. I've been at this for a very long time, you know, and at the level that I think I've reached as an artist and as a person, I just needed something new. I needed something new. And everybody that's around me, they know I love John Belushi like to the core. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like everything to me. Everyone that knows, I've been talking about Animal House for forever, and it was just the perfect metamorphosis to turn the game around for myself. And you can hear it if you listen to old me and new me, who I like to call it. You see the difference. So it was just perfect, and it was just the perfect storm with Foulmouth to make this a reality.
And for the people who don't know the single I mentioned, it's called "Get Back" with Obie Trice.
Oh wow, yeah, you went way back to get back. That was a while ago. Wow, that's great.
It's because I was born in '91, and so that shady Aftermath era was really my death row. So when I heard all these guys, I literally, like as a kid, I'm going back on the internet looking for these music, and like a couple of your songs ended up on my little MP3 that I had back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That was a lovely time in my life. I could remember very little because I did so much. I did so much. There was so much free liquor and free weed. I couldn't take it, but no, that was a beautiful time in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Especially being from Detroit, and riding at that shady wave. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a beautiful time.
And then for also too, there was I also had there was a single by you where there was like you made into a South Park cover. Oh, I forget what that was called though, but I had that one too in my MP3.
Oh yeah, you must be talking about the because I was like the Black Cartman on that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was Scream. We had Scream out here on the streets.
Yeah,
for a short time.
Was it Scream EP?
Yeah. You said what happened?
Was it called a Scream EP?
Yeah, I believe it was called Scream EP. But I actually never really touched the streets. It was an idea that one of our guys put out, and I had a joint that Jake One did called Scream, and we kind of like leaked it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the masses got a hold to that cover, because it was supposed to come out, but we never actually put it out. It kind of leaked, and that's how the masses got to it. But yeah, Scream, that was a real dope record. This was before Jake One started messing with whoever he was messing with. I think G Unit or something like that at the time. And I think he submitted some beats to Obie, and that beat got to me, and I did what I did to it. And we kind of like let the masses hear it, and people were falling in love with it. But yeah, that was a great time in my life.
So for the people, because like I said, I fell in love through Detroit hip hop because most people are like, oh, I found Detroit hip hop through Eminem. Yes, I did find Detroit hip hop through Eminem, but that didn't make me fall in love with it. What made me fall in love with it was the Jay Dilla sound.
Yes.
So
yes.
So that's
yes, man.
That made me go dig, and I mean dig into Detroit. That made me find Frank and Dank, a T3.
Oh yeah, they're my brothers.
I can go on and on. A Fat Killahz, but for or like a Marv one. But for the people who ain't tuned in to like Detroit hip hop, like how I'm very tuned into, can you explain to the people what the Fat Killahz mean to Detroit, sir?
Man, I almost would want you to ask Detroit that question, because me being a Fat Killahz is crazy. And being in that moment, being in that time frame, being in that group, you don't realize the impact you had on people until it's said and done. Until you kind of like at the end of the journey, and you look back and you see like grown people that were like, man, I was like 15 when the Killahz came out, and you guys are like Run DMC to me, and this, that, and the third. Is overwhelming. It's a real overwhelming feeling, because we were just living our lives. We were all young at the time. Everything that we were living that. You know what I'm saying? We just so dope, fat MCs. Gordy crazy. Marv is lyrically incredible. Fats is OG status, and myself is just like the wild, crazy guy that everybody has in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That one dude that would do a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was down a whole 40 ounce of beer in like 1 minute before your eyes, and You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, and you just don't realize what you're doing until, you know what I'm saying, it's said and done. But yeah, we were moving it, and to some people we still are, but yeah, that was just insane to come up under those guys, D12, Jay Dilla, Slum Village, and everybody mentions their name in the same breath as these people. It's amazing coming from Detroit.
And also too, like, just for you to be a part of like a class, well, I call that album class. I guess who's coming to dinner.
Oh yeah.
Do you go back and listen to some of your old stuff?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I think I was listening. The last joint I listened to on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was maybe Do Something with me, Marv, and Fats on it. Yeah, that Killer album is crazy because I remember what we went through making that, the countless McDoubles I ate. You know what I'm saying? Integration.
Those are fire, by the way.
Ready pizzas. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's insane. Because when I hear it, like when you hear it, you may go to your time period. When I hear us actually being in the studio where it's hot as hell, where I'm, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go walk to the liquor store to get some liquor. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I just hear the making, what we went through to make that album, which is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Black Milk Doctor had the first single, Get Your Paper. You know what I'm saying? We shot a video. It's insane. It was just an insane time period for myself, for sure.
Oh, well, and then you can also too. It's like what you say when you go back and actually look at what you done. Like when it's all said and done, what you go back. With that being said, too, what inspired you to become a solo artist as opposed to being in a group with somebody else other than the Fat Killahz?
Okay, well, that's a very good question. We were all solo artists before the Killahz, so me being solo was not foreign. You know?
Oh, okay.
We were all, we were all like dope MCs within the city. And our big homie, God rest the dead, Chris Cobb, was like, yo, man, y'all should be like the Fat Boys 2000. And it went from there with him and Fats commandeering it. But yeah, me being a solo artist, I came up with Obie Trice. And we were like just two dope, you know what I'm saying, solo artists. So me being solo, that's nothing foreign to me. Nothing. It's just a little bit more work when you go into the studio and write your verses. But me being solo has always been my goal, is to break out and be something, you know.
Would you say like the first track that you ever appeared on, that got released to like a local was Everybody's Trippin' by a DJ Butter?
Wow, you are pretty damn good. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And it was an amazing day. I remember going to the east side of Detroit. I believe I was with Gordy. And when we got there, Obie was there, Proof was there, Dogmatic, and I can't remember who else was there. Pep and Whip for sure. It was just an amazing time just to go down in that booth and spit those two bars. Yeah. That was crazy. I remember that day. That's awesome.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised on how far I can like go back and actually. But I enjoy that. I enjoy like going back and seeing the growth as an artist.
Yeah.
And also too with because like I said, Detroit's very special in my heart too for hip hop. When it comes to the Adventures of Bane Belushi, would you consider that your debut project, like a debut album?
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of like solo. Hold on, Ryder is screaming in the back. Ryder, I'm doing an interview right now, okay? All right now. Okay, I'm back.
All good. All good.
Yeah. Where do we leave off? I'm sorry.
About your Adventures of Bane Belushi album. Would you say that's your debut album?
Yes. I've done mixtapes. I did the mixtape with Obie. Appeared on countless mixtapes. I dropped not a lot of EPs. Only dropped 2 EPs. One with Chains, the Bridge Card, and Help Yourself. A lot of EPs. This is the first full-length album, and I would say it's just a collective of my life in a whole, and a time capsule of the time period of me creating that album. Like, a lot of stuff that you're hearing was my day. I think I'm ODB.
Yeah,
Once a day.
I was gonna say you kind of have that flow, but you also bring your own. Like, it's like the two mashed up together. It's like a Bane and an ODB together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like
the thing that also.
ODB.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just about to big up Old Dirty Bastard, man. One of the best who ever did it, man.
Oh yes, sir. That's woo right there for the people who know, but they should know if they're listening to this podcast. Just wondering too. What grabs me to an artist album is the album cover too, because I'll give any artist a chance, but what would make me really roll up and listen to it is the album cover. So, have you ever seen the movie 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler?
Oh God, was it the animation?
Yeah, that's the one.
I know of it, but I don't think I've sat down and watched it.
Okay, so it's a very
I know of it though.
It's a very adult cartoon, and that's what kind of made me think when I saw your album. But it made me it's like a Detroit version where starring you. And when I listened to that album, like when I listened to it, it's like It's the Loud, or I Love Fast Food, or the Shoot a Joint with Ken Gordy and Guilty Simpson. That's actually fire. So I'm just wondering, what made you hook up with Middle Finger Music and doing a whole album produced by Foulmouth?
Oh wow, this is very good. A short time, maybe around the time of the Fat Killahz hiatus, I kind of disappeared. You know, I kind of got bitter with the whole rap thing because I felt like, me personally, I should be far ahead because I'd have been all around the world doing this music stuff, and I've always been a group member. I've always been a hype man. So it's just like, I've never been the front guy. So I was bitter. I'm gonna keep it a full buck with you. I was very bitter about the game, so I didn't want nothing to do with hip hop music at all. And I think one day I either got an email or a message on Instagram or something like, "Yo, my name's Foulmouth and Wookie Whoop, and I'm doing beats." And I knew his man's was Pigpen, who's a very dope producer. Was his man's. And it was like, come over, check out some beats. So I went over there and checked out some beats. And I'm like, damn, Pigpen dope, but this Foulmouth dude is horrible. Like, Jesus. Like, this guy is trash. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get some beats from Pigpen, and I'm going to keep it pushing. So then, long story short, a month later, Foulmouth hits me up and was like, yo, I got some more heat, come by. So this time I just come by, and he had some fire. And the first song I did, I believe, was Blowed Every Day. And after that, it just bloomed. Just an amazing friendship that me and him have. And we knocked out this album. You know what I'm saying? Like, knocked it out. Like, you drink, smoke, and good times. You know what I'm saying? And creating this album.
So also too, I noticed there's minimum features on it too. What made you want to have minimum features on it and showcase most of your talent?
Man, because nowadays when I look at these hip hop artists, you don't know if it's their album or a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Because you see feature, and I really wanted to cut, and I actually wanted it to be less, but the songs were actually dope. So it was just like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and for the future, you'll see less features on my project because I want my projects to be my projects, and that's no disrespect to anybody that does that. But I just always felt that way. Like one or two, you know what I'm saying, is dope in my eyes, but to fill your project with features is cheating almost to me. It's cheating, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not about cheating. I want to go ahead and win, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I thought I was the only one who thought like that.
But yeah, I know, but you always have a Guilty Simpson verse, you know what I'm saying, on my albums. He's always been there to support me, you know what I'm saying? Even going back to the Bridge Car, we did the Al Bundy joint, and that shit was always fire whenever I worked for him. And, you know, me and him go way back. So, we always been with them on the album for sure.
Also,
forward.
when you write to a beat, like what inspires you? Is it just like what you go through, or is it like what you think of, like what you want to write? Because artists are very different too when
Okay.
they write.
Yeah, man. I don't know how other guys and other MCs do it. I can't write like at home. Like I know a lot of dudes that I know will be like, yeah, send me something in a Dropbox or give me a CD and I'll go right around and if we have a session, I write in that session, in that moment, because it's just a feeling that when you first hear the beat, you can never capture that moment when you first hear a beat. And that's the energy I always want to keep when I write, is that first moment. So that's part of it for me. Second, depending on the song, what I'm talking about is usually going to end up being my acts of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like what I did that day. Smoke weed, drink, fuck the first verse was a day, was the night before. I think, and I just wrote it down. You know what I'm saying? And lyrically spit that. The first verse for I Think I'm ODB was the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote it was what I'm basically narrative. The narrative was the day that I had, what I had on. I had some watermelon Hirachis on, which I call watermelon Hirachis, colorful Hirachis. So yeah, it's just I'm a boom right there. I can't hold it. To me, it sounds stale.
Yeah. And no worries about the children. I understand. So they're gonna be a part of something great.
I got one for the babies, man.
Oh, it's all good. They're gonna be a part of something great. So when they're older, they could be like, "Wow, that was me on there."
Yeah, then they'll know, like, yeah, Ryder Daddy is for real, because here's Ryder right here. Ryder's right here. Yeah, okay, here it is. This is your binky. This is your binky, little baby.
So when I listen to your music,
That was slow.
oh, sorry, say that again, sir.
No, I'm still up to maybe even though I got all this crazy going around.
Oh, it's all good, sir. No worries. So with lyrics too, you've been to Canada too, I'm guessing.
I'm sorry, you say that again, sir?
You've been to Canada too, right?
Oh, what? I've been all over Canada, man.
Because I heard one of your lyrics that kind of fucked me up, so I had to go back. And when I heard you say Saskatoon bitches fucking back to back, I'm like, yo, I had to. I'm like, hold up. Let me go back. And
yeah, once again, a very true story. In Saskatoon on the bus. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. Don't want to incriminate myself or any parties that may be involved. But yeah, man, Saskatoon showed up for love out there, man. Yeah. I love Canada, though.
When was the first time you say that you ever been overseas before?
Woo, it had to be like 2003. This is around the time Obie Trice dropped the Chairs album. Was able to go across the pond over to Heathrow, walk through London and all that, man. That kind of changed the whole bang outlook on hip hop music. Because I could say around that period, around the time I was with the Killahz and this and the third, I kind of wanted a mainstream look. You know what I'm saying? At first, but then going overseas kind of solidified how I truly felt about making pure, unadulterated hip hop, grimy music. You know what I'm saying? Because of the love that it received out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it may be different now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They might have changed really on a mainstream kick. But when I was out there, the mainstream, you know what I'm saying, it was mainstream, but it was dudes out there that was just like, it was just a whole massive that really liked dirty hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like how it was intended to be. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciated that. And I kind of like, because I always felt like I always loved the grimy hip hop. Like I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan. Oh God, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just love that sound. And somewhere hip hop lost it, where they put those dudes in the back and push the shiny shit to the front. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when I went out there, they was just really loving that grungy shit, and I was like, yeah, this is where I need to be at, you know.
Yeah, well, you can tell too with your music and everything, like when like coming up, and for the people who never heard of a Bane Belushi before, which if you listen to hip hop and like a hip hop head, you should know his history. What are a few of your favorite joints that you've done that are out there so people can hear?
Oh, we gotta go straight to the album, The Adventures of Bane Belushi. Produced entirely by Foulmouth, Little Finger Music. I would say my favorite song on the album, if someone was like, yo, what? Drink, smoke weed. Drink, smoke weed, fuck. Then I would give them the intro, for sure, because the intro is almost like a breakdown of what's, about to occur and what I'm about, where I've been, And for years, my God, because that's almost just like just to let everyone know, I've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where you've been. I've always been nice. You know what I'm saying? So for years most definitely those joints right there. And then if I'm dropping hard copies, Little Finger Music, we doing hard copies pretty soon, and it will be a bonus track on there. I'm not saying anything. This will be a bonus track on there for y'all to listen to. So yeah.
We
do nothing.
Would you do merch and everything for your album too, like besides physical copies?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do all that. We're gonna do CDs. Hopefully we can get some T-shirts pressed up with the album cover, because I just feel Mr. Cliff Notes, I gotta shout him out. He took my idea and just took it to a whole nother level, man, and I love that, and I love what he did with it. So yeah, Mr. Cliff Notes, he did the cover, he killed it.
And you know what? I hear a lot of interviews and a lot of people fanning out because when people say a certain name, that's why when it comes to like when I interview certain people, I try not to ask the most obvious questions because I want to make my show. It's true. I want to make my show unique. I want to make it like I don't want to come off like I'm just looking for clout or followers, because like I notice like a lot of people, they'll be asking like the most obvious questions all the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
With that being said too, because like I didn't even want to start off with like, yo, how'd you know Obie Trice or how'd you know MFM? The main person who I actually want to know who you know is my man Guilty Simpson.
Oh, Guilty, oh man, that's very good. I'm gonna say like about 1999 or whatever. I just came out the county. I was in county jail. And one of the big homies in the neighborhood was, he seen me going down the wrong path or whatever, and he was like, yo, man, I know you got skills with this rapping. You need to stop doing what you're doing. And he was like, I got a partner that has some money. He's willing to put some money in and make this rap stuff happen. I'm saying, shit, let's make it happen. So I go to the studio. He introduced me to his A&R. His A&R happens to be Hex Murder. Hex has a group called Almighty Dreadnoughts, and I think the first joint was a posse joint with the Dreadnoughts and myself, and that's how I met everyone. And from that day forward, it's been fam. You know what I'm saying? Straight family. Me, Hex, Dreadnoughts, Guilt. You know what I'm saying? Super MC. All my dogs.
Yeah, because Guilty actually appeared on season 2, and he's a very humbled individual. So shout out to Guilty.
Hell yeah, shout out to Guilty.
And another too, because like I said, I don't want to ask the obvious questions. Another person who I'm actually curious on how you met too is Aztec.
Oh wow, yeah, I met Tech. Tech might be different. See, I'm notorious for being at events in the city, but I get so shit-faced, I don't remember nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Tech might be like, yo, I'm going to ask Tech this, and he might give you a different answer. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So basically, I said that to say this. I may have met him before in the community, but I seriously remember meeting him at Foul Mountain. You know what I'm saying? And like, dope MC. Like, one of the dopest to come out of Detroit. Like, dead serious. Like, lyrically, effing monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And, just meeting him through Foulmouth from how I remember it. And we just been pretty fucking cool since. And I come back and listening to some of the joints that we've done that's been put out. There's a chemistry there. You know what I'm saying? Between him and I. And it's funny that we end up on the same label. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's dope. That's my guy. That's it.
All right. And then when I do my research on my guest, I always ask them because, like I said, anybody can read stuff on the internet. It's about hearing it from the person's mouth itself. Would you say your main influences were Run DMC, Tupac, Big, and NWA?
Okay, that's another thing. I don't know, I think Wikipedia, I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah.
My brother called me the other day, too, was like, we never listened to NWA. You roll for Biggie. I'm like, okay, so let me air this out. NWA, Tupac, love them to death. You know what I'm saying? Big respect. I grew up on Slick Rick, Big Daddy, not Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, Notorious B.I.G. Redman is a god to me. Redman, you would say he probably birthed Bang Belushi. You know what I'm saying? Redman taught me how to roll a blunt. Feel me? Like, Big Pun. I can't forget about Pun. Those and Wu-Tang, man, my God. Old Dirty Bastard, man, for a long period of time. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. When I first started rapping, my neighborhood, I went to high school with Bizarre. And when Bizarre got a hold of me, when I'm like 16 at the time, lyrically I thought I was Raekwon. You know what I'm saying? So I rapped in all cold. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but I was fucking dope. But yeah, Raekwon, like, oh God, was a big influence in my life. So yeah, so we'll go Wu-Tang, Big, Redman, Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? Hence is, you know what I'm saying? My album is called The Adventures of Bang Belushi because Slick Rick, The Adventures of Slick Rick was the first hip-hop album I ever heard in my life.
Okay.
In its entirety. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It's not a bad album to hear in its entirety.
Hell yeah.
And then also, with you being so, like, influenced by so much greats, too, who would you hope to work with in the future? Like, because I believe you can speak things into existence.
It's like everybody that I really would work with and passed on. As it's sad to say. Like Sean P, man, I would love to get a joint with him. Dilla would love to get a beat. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
So a lot of the
That's
greats.
A very good question. That's a very good question. It's a young guy out of New York named Bob Rock.
Okay.
I want to get a joint with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause, like, I'm really in my own cocoon when it comes to this hip hop. I stick to myself and my squad, but it's some certain people out there. But yeah, Bob Rock probably the only one that's on my list right now. That I'm like, yo, I need to get a joint with Bob. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And with the middle, this is gonna be a part of the Middle Finger Music Week, featuring interviews with Foulmouth, Pat 313, and Bang Belushi.
Stop doing that.
I would like to say thank you very much for taking the time out your day. I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'll let you go, sir, because I understand you're a busy man.
Yeah, no doubt.
For everyone who wants to listen to a Bang Belushi, would you say that you want to put out a lot more visuals in the future?
Yes. Yes, I want to flood. Especially with this new day and age in music, with the music being so accessible, if I'm using the right term.
Yep.
I just feel like, yeah, at this day and age, with everyone being able to get to it, gotta flood it. You gotta flood it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta flood the game with visuals or everything, even if it's not even music. If it's just you eating and talking shit. You know what I'm saying? They need to know. They need to feel a part of what you're doing. And I'm not the guy. I'm not trying to be the guy that's put like when you see him, it's over. I'm in every neighborhood. Everyone knows the Bang Belushi in their neighborhood. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy that goes to work 9 to 5, busts his ass with tears. When it's time to drink, he may have too much to drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. Everyone knows Bang Belushi in their hood, and that's who I am. And that's why I want to relate to the everyday people. I'm not no super gangster, but I'm not a punk either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an everyday man, you know?
Just an everyday person, like how everyone is. That's what I want the people to get. Yeah, that's what I want people to get, man. I'm not like the guy with 100 chains on. I don't got a brick under the bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm your everyday guy, man. Average man. It's actually leading up to my last question I ask all my guests. Do you have any words for somebody in a dark place trying to see the light?
Oh man, faith. Your faith. Like, I'm not even gonna say I'm a super religious man, but you have to believe in something. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that is, whatever your God is, or whatever that higher being is, you gotta have faith and believe. You know what I'm saying? It never rains all the time. Like, it's never gloomy as hell every single day. It may rain for about 3 or 4 days, but that 3rd or 4th day, you look outside, the sun up there. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't be down on yourself. Like, you're human. You're gonna get down, but you know what I'm saying? Shake it off and get out there and fight again. You know, that would be my thing, because I've been through so many trials and tribulations in my situation, and I thought I'd never get out. But, you know what I'm saying, here I am with air in my lungs, and I got 2 beautiful daughters, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, don't ever stay down. The rain ends at some point.
It's great to see. It's great to see that someone who did so much in his lifetime is such a humble person.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, shit, at the end of the day, we all people. You know what I'm saying? And all these acts, people putting on acts and all that front and shit like that, man, they ain't gonna get you nowhere in the long run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My number one saying, and I want to say it to you, Lo, I spread love to get love in return. You know what I'm saying? I'm not spreading out no hate, because you'll get that right back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I always spread love to get that same love back, man.
Well, it's good to hear, sir. I'm glad there's people like me and you in this world, sir, because they ain't much of us.
Yeah, man. And, dude, do you drink, dude?
No, not anymore. Not since I met Kid Vicious.
Yeah,
I met Kid Vicious and Royce 5'9" smashed out of my mind, but that's probably the reason why I don't drink.
Well, that's for another episode. We have to talk.
Yeah, he was my first guest. Kid Vicious was my first guest 2 years ago before I got into podcasting, and I met him, and it kind of fucks me up when I still think about it. It was like destiny. It was destiny.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's my guy, though. Shout out to Vish.
Yeah, shout out to Kid Vicious, and he did a joint that didn't make the album. You may hear later on, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, yeah, Vicious, yeah, I got some shit in the truck, bro.
He good people. But like you said, I appreciate, because I didn't know you did your name change until you threw my stuff up on your page. So I would like to say, with you being like a very major figure in hip hop in Detroit, I really appreciate that, sir.
No doubt, man, not a problem, man. I appreciate you. I truly do.
Is there anything else that you like to plug in before I let you go, Bang Belushi?
Man, Adventures of Bang Belushi, out right now on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Little Finger Music, Aztec the Barfly, Lion King is out right now. Lion King is out, you know what I'm saying, on all platforms. Shout out, follow him out. My best friend in this music thing. And we got a lot of surprises coming up in 2019. Shout out to the Killahz, of course, Fat Killahz. Shout out my city, Detroit. Shout out my beautiful daughter, Ryder. My youngest, Ryan, which I'm holding right now, needs to get burnt. She just drank a 40 ounce of milk. Yeah, man, everything is love, man. And shout out to all the pot dealers around the world. And I'll be seeing you very soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I was about to celebrate. I'm about to roll up after this interview. But thank you very much, Bane Belushi.
Yeah.
Salute to you and the fam.
Yes, thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you, sir. That's from another episode from the Desk of Low featuring Bane Belushi.